Hello folks and welcome along to the channel. We are here for the SRS for their Tier 2 Season 2 Round 8 race here in Brazil. This track consisting of 15 corners and its distance is 2.677 mile, or in kilometre is 4.31 kilometres. The tyres we're going to be using are the mediums, the medium bunch, which is the C4 softs, the C3 mediums and the C2 hard compound tyres. Now this track has two DRS zones, so that'll be quite interesting to see. See what overtakes may happen. We did end up seeing some overtakes happen just a few hours ago in real F1, so that was a lot better race than what Japan was anyway, just a week ago, so that is always good. What we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look at the standings first off. We've got Fatty McBatty on 118, and I think that is a little Jim, if I do believe so. You've got Benji in second place on 162 points. CJ Drama is in third on 159. On 131 in fourth is Idle North. Then we've got San in fifth on 99 points. 91 points for Dan in sixth place. I'm on Quack sits in seventh place on 61 points. 52 points for both Night Flash and Soph sitting in 8th and 9th. And then we've got Monye in 10th place on 46 points. Welcome along all those who have decided to join. Let me just get the chat section up. We've got Aston and Thomas in the chat. Welcome along, guys. Glad to have you along with us. Let's see, so we've got the tyre stats, we'll get everything up for you. We've seen a couple of cars already making their way out of the pit lane. Faulkner, sorry, being the first one out. Spike. What's happened to Spike? Blocking the pit lane. That's, I wonder what's going to happen with that. Interesting. Any cars coming at the back before he disappears? They're going to just be able to phase through him, so that's good then. No worries about that there. So Faulkner being the first one out on the grid, out of the box, sorry. And on track, just coming through Pico de Pato. Through the downhill turn 11 and then into the final braking zone of Young Cow, which is turn 12. We've got turn 13 and 14. Then we've just got turn 15 here, the final corner. But of course, in these Formula 1 cars, they are glued to the ground almost. So they're just, it's not a corner. But coming into turn 1 and 2, the Senna S, misses that apex completely at turn 2. As it goes through Curva de Sol onto the Reta Posta. DRS is wide open. Going down into the Cido del Lago. Is that a bit of a kick of oversteer, having to correct a little, it seemed. Going through turn 4. And turn 5. And, turn 8, sorry. Jeez, you peeps. Through Pico de Pato, nicely up into Young Cow now. Last braking point from here, it's just straight to the line. Fernando Alonso on the intermediates. Odd. It is a short qualifying session, so no... Well, bounce off the wall there. 109.191. Now we've got Quark 109.946. Goes in second place. Who we've got next? We've got Little Jim, who I think is the championship leader at the moment, coming across the line. A 108.561. 6 tenths quicker than Faulkner in the Haas, so nice time there from the Alpine driver. We've got Thomas just on their lap coming down the right of the post. I've seen Dan putting a time of 109.315 on the medium, same with Idon North 109.375, just behind their teammate. So Thomas only one on a lap right now, and that's Sauber. Coming through turn 9, just coming up to turn 10 now. We've got Ferrari just up ahead a little. Oh. That is San on their out lap. We've got a Mercedes also. Can the Sauber driver get a little bit of a tow here from the Mercedes just starting their lap? That's CJ Drama. Nope, CJ Drama actually moving out of the way. That's kind of messed up their lap, unfortunately. But Thomas goes P2 with a 109 flat. Just about half a second off of Little Jim. We'll see San and CJ Drama going board with the Ferrari of San right now, as they're just coming down into turn 4. Up into 6 and 7 of Ferradura. Nicely does it, keeping that Ferrari nice and steady. We've got 13 minutes left on the clock, 5 minutes have already went by, and we've had 6 drivers put in lap times. San and CJ Drama will be making that 8 drivers in the next few moments. San coming through, Young Cow, foot flat to the floor now, all the way to the line, using that battery as much as possible. Quack putting in a 108.490, going on provisional pole position. Let's see, San puts in a 108.756 to put that into third place. CJ Drama 109.155, and that getting out of the way of who was it? Was it Thomas? That definitely would have hindered them on their lap getting started. Let's see who's up next. We've got Benji here in the Haas. Just starting their out lap, just finishing up their out lap, getting ready to start their flying lap. And you see that switch turn from none to hot lap. Let's see how he's going to do coming down into this Senna S's through turn 1 and 2 there, through the Curva de Sol now, before DRS is activated again down the Retta Posta. Nicely does it through 4 and 5 there. Nicely does it, keeping it nice and smooth, not want to make any too big of adjustments on the steering. That's certainly one way to, getting a little bit of slip there coming out of the peak of the paddle. Through Young Cow the goal, and now it's foot flat to the floor to the line. Of course, the drivers will be able to get plenty of laps in here in qualifying. Usually they'd only get in about 3, but it could add up a bit more with the track length. Benji just going ahead of his teammate at 108.802. Nice time there indeed. We've still got a few drivers still waiting to come out of the garage. We've got Result, Fernando Alonso, Night Flash, and Mean Man Moody. Oh, there we go. That was weird. I just noticed the chat hasn't been working there, so I've got Robbie Short in their chat as well, so welcome along. Oh, and Fernando Alonso's retired in the pit lane. Oh. So let's see, we'll get back up and see either north come to the end of their lap. We'll just get this data off now. There we go. To the line goes P3 at 108.755, 1,000ths of a second quicker than the Ferrari of San. Nice time there indeed to just slip in front. Got Benji also coming to the line. I think that was, yep, that was a cool down lap that they've just done. We've got Thomas coming through, Young Cow. Oh, that's definitely teasing the stewards there. Getting right close to going off the track there and getting that lap time deleted, but fortunately enough kept it within the white lines and goes P3 with a 108.739. So close between third and fifth there, definitely. Let's see who else is on the lap. CJ Drama just starting the lap. We'll come back to them in a few moments. I'll go with Benji right now. Where is the Williams? Can't see. Come down the right of Post, but right now we've got the Haas of Benji currently sitting at P6 with the 108.802. Let's see how he's going to do. He's just got this little kinks here to go. 108.717 puts that into P3. We've got 4 drivers in the 108.7s now between third and 6th position. Thomas coming into the pits. CJ Drama is just finishing up their lap. Let's see if we can make it 5 drivers in the 108.7s. Unfortunately, that car just up ahead, that McLaren's not going to be able to give it a distant tow. 109.171. So not faster. Night Flash. 108.402. Nice time indeed. Goes and takes that provisional pole position. Absolute smashing time indeed. We'll go down and see the McLaren of Rizal as they came around the curve of the Sol. I think that's going to be a double warm-up lap. I think they must have not thought to take turn 1 and 2 accurate enough, so we'll see what they do. Main man Moody's still sitting in the garage. So is San going on another lap? I think they are, yep. And I think they would have used a bit more of that ERS. So Thomas Senna lost 2/10 by going wide turn 5 and the final corner. Oh, that's not good. So 2/10, that could have put you into P3 even, or even P2. Could have been close. But unlucky there, Thomas. Hopefully you could... You've still got plenty of time. You've got 6 minutes left on the clock, so plenty of time to get back in and get more lap times in. Let's see San, who's actually running a bit low on fuel. We'll see if they are going to finish their lap. We've got yellow flag in sector 2. That's an Aston Martin. Is that done? If they run out of fuel? Nope, it doesn't seem to be. They're just getting it out of the way nicely there, making sure not to give a tow to their rival competitor. So, yep, San deciding to finish this lap, and it's going to be a 108.597. Goes P4. Nice time indeed. Puts that on the second row provisionally. We'll see if that is going to... Oh! Luckily he done that on his... after he finished his flying lap and not before it. That could have ended very badly. We've got Rizal coming across the line. Is improving on the time. 109.207. Oh, and touches the grass on entry into turn 1 and absolutely fries them rear tyres, trying to get back going again. Idle North is on a lap now, just coming through Peak de Pato. Now down the hill and coming into Young Cow. See what the Aston Martin is going to be capable of. 108.755 is their previous best. Let's see if they could improve on that as they're coming around the final little corner there. And across the line, a 108.535. Third place there for Idle North. Not seen anyone be able to dethrone the Williams just yet, but that could come soon enough. Let's see, Mahan Moody, are they on a lap? It seems that they are. 109.949 their time right now. Man Moody using that DRS and the ERS coming to the line. What time are they going to be able to put in? It's going to be a 110.209. So not improving on their time. Idle North, what they're doing, they'll be coming into the pits before everyone starts coming out again for their last lap blasts. And I think it is Quack who is the first driver, so we'll go on board with them. We'll see what is up. Through turn 4 and 5 they go nicely into Ferradura now. Nicely does it, managing to get the car straightened up and perfect for the braking of turn 8. Through Young Cow now, overtake button has been engaged all the way to the line. Thomas puts on provisional pole, 108.308. Can Quack come back and counter that? He's going to have to be quite a bit quicker, and unfortunately he isn't, just down on his time by 0.04 of a second. Who is next up? Faulkner, who I think is going to be next up to settle up. Sand's just starting there right now. Let's see how Faulkner is going to do. Coming to the line. And they're going to improve the do. 108.567 is good enough for 6th place. CG Dram unfortunately invalidated their lap time. It is going again. Rizzle has invalidated their lap time also. Benji just starting there. San coming through Ferradura. We've got Little Jim coming to the line. 108.561. And they're doing another lap, so we'll come back with them soon. Idle North invalidated, so is Quack. Night Flash. What is Night Flash going to be doing? Are they going to be able to improve on their time? 108.402 coming through Young Cow with her turn 12, now 13, 14, and now just the final little left-hander to go. Let's see, they're going to be able to pull off that provisional pole position and improve. No, they aren't. The Art did improve on their time, but not enough to get that pole position, it seems. Unfortunate there for Night Flash, but we've still got Quack, who is on a lap. Stan coming across the line, getting that third place at 108.400. little Jim, who's took out as much fuel as he possibly can. Coming around to finish his lap. How's he going to be able to do? Is he improving on his time? That is the question. 108.891, not improving on their time. Let's see, Rizal currently sitting down in 11th place with 109.207. They are improving on their time. Can they get into the 108s? If they can, that could mean them moving up a position. Can they get out of that 11th slot and get into the single digits? Yes, they can. P8 at 108.571. And look how close it is between 5th place all the way down to 8th. So close here between this field. There we go, folks. That is the end of qualifying there. Managing to see a good turnout from the Williams. Thomas there managing to get that pole position there with 108.308. Excellent time indeed. Night Flash just narrowly missing out, and same with San there. Just less than a tenth between the top three, so expect a thrilling race up ahead. Quack getting that 4th position, Idle North in 5th, Little Jim 6th, 7th for Faulkner, Rizal in 8th, Dan in 9th, Benji 10th, CJ Drama 11th, Mean Man Moody in 12th. Fernando Alonso not coming out of the garage, starts P13, and Spike, who did end up getting disqualified, so a bit unusual there about what happened with that. So moving on, we're about to have a 36 lap Grand Prix. So we're just waiting for the drivers to sort out their tyre strategies for the rest of their fuel loads and such, and there we go. Hold on to your hats, this is going to be a thrilling one as we've got 5 red lights and they are away for the start of this 36 lap Grand Prix. Benji looks like they've managed to get a good start. Dan looks like they've been caught napping as they've fallen down a good few places. Thomas managed to get a good start. We'll get more of the data up right now as we see the position changes right now. Quack moving up 2 positions from that 4th position, and San unfortunately having a terrible start, moving down to 6 positions. We see there side by side Rizal and Faulkner. Rizal managing to get a good start, moving up 2 positions from 8th on the grid. CJ Drama up 3. San, terrible start, and I think that could be contributed to the hard tyres. At the start, we've got Thomas being overtaken by Quack. Most of the drivers opting for the medium tyre, besides 5 others opting for the softs, and San opting for the hard compound tyre. Now, I always thought a medium to soft strategy was the best here. Whether that's changed or not, only time will tell, but usually a pit stop about lap 20, 21 from the mediums onto the softs is good enough to get you to the end. But again, we'll see how everyone is going to be faring. To see the Mercedes of CJ Drama diving up the inside of Faulkner. I think there was a little bit of contact there, but all is fair in love and war. Looking on at Benji and Fernando Alonso going side by side there, and I think, was there a little bit of contact, or was one opting to go one way? Benji squeezing through the middle and trying to get up the inside of that Ferrari of San, and it looks like he is. You see loads of debris getting smashed up, and I think that's just a graphical error, unfortunately. So we can blame the EA part on that. But until now, looking on at Thomas, still sticking with Quack, who is on that faster soft compound tyre. Medium's not appearing to be too bad, except Thomas getting a little bit on the grass, and that's lost him that much needed DRS to the end to get him going again. Oh, faking a little pit stop there. It seems Quack putting in the fastest time of 110.901 as Night Flash comes flying up the inside, and now Thomas is under threat from Little Jim in fourth, who's going to have that DRS again. But Thomas, fortunately enough, will have that DRS to defend. Not that it's going to make a difference to Little Jim as he's moving up the inside, trying for that move. He's getting squeezed and pinched to the inside, still keeping that inside line as Little Jim. And it looks like he's going to get that position going into Ferradura. Nice one from Little Jim. Great battle in there and great view from the helicopter cam, I will say. Thomas moving down into fourth position. Did start on pole, but unfortunately has lost out. Losing that DRS definitely hasn't helped him. We'll see how things are going to go though. We do know that it can all come back later on in this Grand Prix. Anything could happen in motor racing, and it usually does. Looking on at Quack, so he's managed to pull himself quite a little gap there. Still keeping his teammate within DRS range, so it looks like the Night Flash might be actually going for it at one point soon. I'll move down and see, oh, the Ferrari there of Rizzle getting a bit too much on the Curva de Sol curb, and actually loses a lot of ground there. Looking on at Faulkner and Rizzle, oh, they come together there, and I'm unsure whose fault that was there, but it looks like they both lost a good few positions as Rizzle goes down to 10th and Faulkner falls down into 12th. And Rizzle's managing to get past San there. I think there was a little bit of contact. I'm unsure as to what happened there. Dan having to take a bit of avoidant action to avoid San rejoining the track. Bob and see Spike not doing much, just cruising around at the back. We'll see how that is going to fare for him soon enough. We'll move up the field right now. No one making moves as of yet. Is Rizzle going to have a go on Fernando Alonso going into turn one? Yes, he is. And he manages to get that overtake done nicely, but is Fernando Alonso going to be able to come back and take a stab back with the DRS? We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. That was Spike. Fortunately enough, no VSC or safety car. We could continue on racing here as Alonso manages to make that move on Rizzle and get that 8th position back. Little Jim has also managed to move up and move into first position. Nice work there from Little Jim, coming from, was it 3rd position he started in? No, 6th, sorry, 6th. So nicely done for him. Managing to get up there. Definitely showing why he is at the top of the leaderboard right now in the standings. Managing to pull quite a considerable gap on Quack through that middle sector, and now Quack is under threat from the Sauber of Thomas and his teammate of Night Flash, who both could end up sailing past in a few moments. Oh, Night Flash having a look up the inside of his teammate there. That would not have been advised. Fernando Alonso and Rizzle swapping places yet again. Rizzle managing to keep that 8th position there. Oh, and Fernando Alonso making that move again, going up the inside. Is he going to manage to make it work going down the inside at turn 4? He does. Rizzle going off the track. That's definitely going to be a warning on Rizzle's record. Now you get 3 of them, and that results in a penalty. You only get 2 wardens. Son now having a look at Rizzle, and is he going to manage to get past? He's got the inside line there, going around turn 9, and it looks like he managed to make that work. Nicely done. It looks like the Haas of Faulkner wanting to try and get involved, but unfortunately goes a bit too hard and ends up off the track. We're going to move up to Night Flash, who is right on the tail of his Williams teammate here. Softs versus mediums, and it looks like the mediums are coming into play now, as Quack has actually fell down the field a little. Fell down into 3rd place. Now Thomas is right on the back of that Williams yet again, and it looks like he's actually going to be able to go for that overtake. He's got the DRS, he's got a bit of slipstream also from the car in front, but he's not got that inside line. He's got to leave a car's width, and he does leave enough space for Thomas on the track. Coming into Ferradura, they're side by side, a lot of bit of contact there, and that causes both the Williams and the Sauber to lose a bit of ground. Idle North can see something happening, and they're both phasing in and out of one another, and is the Sauber just trying to keep in that ghost, and if he manages to do that, then that is going to be excellent for him. But looking on at the times, he's going to need to try and slow up to make sure you can get that DRS, as it looks like Quack is going to be able to get it. Quack is going to get the DRS, and Thomas will not have the DRS, so that's going to be definitely detrimental to Thomas here, who is slapping back, and there we go. We see Quack and Idle North go side by side. Well, go either side of Thomas. Idle North managing to move up 2 positions and get that 3rd position right now, but could be under threat. Thomas looking like he's going to be trying for another move on Quack. We'll see how this is going to unfold going into turn 4. And is he going to go for the switchback? He is. Taking that inside line, getting on that curb, which is very risky. He manages to keep it nice and steady, trying around the outside of Ferradura. This time, it didn't work out the best before, and it doesn't work out the best again either this lap. We'll continue to see how that unfolds in the coming laps. We're going to move up to Night Flash, who is trailing from Little Jim, both on the medium compound tyres. Little Jim managed to come up from 6th position. We'll see how this is going to unfold. Is he going to manage to get close enough to go for a move just yet, or is he just holding back and waiting for that perfect time? As we've seen how effective the DRS is here, as it is quite a tight and twisty sector 2. Thomas and Quack, looks like Thomas got past there using the DRS, and it looks like he could be going for it again here. He could get the DRS. I think he has. Yep, he has, as they're both wheel banging there as they're going down the Retroposta down into the Cida del Lago. And Thomas is the one who comes out on top in 4th position. Nicely done there from the Sauber driver. We've got Dan managing to overtake Rizzle. Unfortunately, Rizzle's not had the best of races here at Interlagos here tonight. We'll go back up to Thomas and Quack, who are still side by side yet again, as they're coming through Pico de Pato down into Young Cow. And now it looks like Quack is going to end up having that DRS again. Thomas and Quack battling out like crazy here for this 4th position. We're only going on to lap 10 now. And there we go, Quack using that DRS effectively. Great battling from the pair of these guys. We're going to go to Little Jim. Is Little Jim going to be able to close this gap on Night Flash? Is he going to go for it? He's going to go for it. Going down into turn 4. He's going to try for that inside line. Is he going to manage to make it work? Is the Alpine going to be able to move up as Thomas does move up on the Quack? We'll see how that is going to unfold for them. Still side by side, Little Jim not managing to get back past Night Flash. Thomas manages to get past Quack, so in this battle is definitely slowing them up from the drivers up in front. as we see how much that gap between Idle North and Thomas has opened up. This is perfect for them. Benji unfortunately losing 2 places, one to CG Drama, one to San, which he can pull back here with having that inside line. But unfortunately, oh, San getting a little nudge there going in, and that seemed a little bit wavering, a bit unlucky there. Quack in 4th place now using that DRS, and Thomas has now been overtaken by the Mercedes of CG Drama, who now moves up into 5th position. Oh, a bit of a concertina effect there, everyone slowing down and not realising as Night Flash is overtaken by Little Jim to takes that 1st position. And welcome along all those who are watching. If you are enjoying the content, please leave a like on the video. It really does help out, and if you do enjoy the channel, enjoy seeing more content like this, leave a little subscribe. It does go a long way. Currently at 84 subscribers. Hopefully to see more in the future. Thomas having a little look down the inside of CG Drama there, going down into turn 8, now going for it around Peak to Pulp, but gets shoved onto the grass a little, gets a little squeezed out. 10-second time penalty for Mean Man Moody for corner cutting. Fernando Alonso now managing to overtake their teammate of Thomas. It's not going good for Thomas here, unfortunately. Is Fernando Alonso going to be able to get the overtake done on Benji? We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, I think that was for Spike. But Fernando Alonso is looking like they could have that inside the line. Nope, not got that straight line speed that Benji has in that Haas, who's facing down CJ Drama just up ahead. Golden Night Flash still 4/10 behind Benji, not managing to make any ground yet on CG Drama, just with the DRS train and how effective it is. So it's a bit weird how sometimes comments aren't showing up. I've seen Nassam saying let's go from the back of the grid, so that was from P13. He's currently in P7, so doing very well out there. And Thomas saying second pole in SRS, so that was Thomas's second pole in SRS, so nice work there. Oh, what's happening? CJ Drama's coming into the pits. We've seen the Haas of Benji moving up into 4th place, overtaking Quack. Let's see how this is going to fare. Fernando Alonso moving up on Quack here. Quack's kind of boxed in as Alonso moves up into 4th place now. Nicely done there. Thomas looking for a move on Fernando Alonso for that 4th position. He's got that inside line. It looks like, is Benji going to have a little look up the inside also? He did see it, but got closed quite quickly. As San and Benji battling it out side by side through Curva de Sol. Who's going to be coming out as the victor here, going down into turn 4 here? It looks like it's going to be Benji coming out on top. We're going to move up to the front of the pack here as we see the battle for the lead is still hotting up. Little Jim and Night Flash have been swapping positions. So Night Flash are going to be at a disadvantage here, being on in front without the DRS, and there we go. That goes to show Little Jim getting back past and getting into the lead. Going to move further down right now. Benji and San are still battling out, going down into turn one. And it looks like San's going to win that battle there. Moving up into 6th place, we're going to go back up to Night Flash, not managing to make any ground there and get that first place back. It seems the grid has separated it a lot. That could all change in the next few moments though. As they're now coming into Sector 2. Thomas getting a 3-second time penalty. Definitely not what he wanted on the exit of Ferradura. Getting that 3-second time penalty, that does cause a hindrance. We've seen a few other drivers get 3-second time penalties for exceeding track limits. Of course, it's not always the best when it does happen. Of course, if there's a light safety car, it really does end up hindering you. Night Flash going for that move. Using a bit of that battery there just to make sure he got past nice and easy, which he does, and clearly moves up into first place as Little Jim actually takes a wide line on the exit of the SRS of turn 2, and that's not very good. I think he's definitely going to be got a couple of warnings. We've got Quack with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Faulkner is also in. Looking on at San and Fernando Alonso. San now moving up, and it seems the hard tyres are starting to become the better tyre now. Going to be going long in this Grand Prix. Trying to go around the outside of Ferradura on Thomas. It's not going to work. Three-second time penalty for Spike. So see the bottom 5 have all got time penalties, including Dan in 8th and Thomas in 4th. They've all got time penalties of some sort. Have a look and you see Mean Man Moody and Quack have both got 10-second time penalties. And I think the rest have all got 6. Got 3, yep, so everyone else has got 3. We'll get back on the tyre strategies. We've seen Little Jim there just moving up into first place again, and San moving up into 4th position ahead of both the Silvers, which could change momentarily. Let's see how that is going to unfold. Thomas using that battery and DRS and moving up into 4th position. Is he going to is Fernando Alonso going to be able to make a move? No, not managing to get close enough. Unfortunately, both the Haas swap places with Benji just coming out of the pits there on them fresh hard compound tyres. Going to move up to Night Flash here. Is he going to get any closer here to Little Jim? Doesn't look like it. Could have a go going down into turn 4, but right now we're going to turn our attention to the Silvers. We've seen Thomas there running a little fake there, trying to get San to come into the pits, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Thomas still staying out in 5th place as he's been overtaken by the Ferrari, now by his teammate of Fernando Alonso, getting around the outside of the Curva de Sol, now onto the right of Raposta. Is Alonso going to be able to get that 4th place anytime soon? We'll see how that is going to work out. Let's see how things are going. Idle North jumping into the pits. What tyres are they going to go on? Be interesting to see. It's a bit early, I think, for the soft compound tyres. We'll soon see. I think it's going to be a hard compound. Intermediates? Oh, it's raining! It's raining out on track now. That is why we've seen some drivers opting for the harder compound. Well, San opting for the harder compound tyres, and is now jump onto the intermediates. Is it a bit early for the intermediates, or are these? Is it because these tyres are too destroyed now? That is an interesting question. Things have just got a little bit more spicy. Some of them drivers who've just came in, such as Benji and Faulkner in the Haas, Rizzle, Meanman, Moody, all coming in just recently to get off their tyres, and it has not worked out for them. Little Jim coming in and getting off them medium compound tyres. Night Flash continuing on. What is the Silver's going to do? Who is going to jump into the pits? Looks like it's going to be Thomas jumping in and getting onto them intermediate tyres. See, is Dan or CJ Drama going to come in? Dan comes in, opting for the pit for them intermediate. CJ Drama may just be okay for now, being on the fresher medium compound tyres. Little Jim now coming out with the pit lane, managing to get into third position. Has lost quite a bit of ground on first place, but we'll see how that is going to unfold. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3, and that seems to be Mean Man Moody's lost control of that Red Bull. Going to move up here. Benji and Faulkner battling it out. They're both still on the hard compound tyres, so opting to try and keep going. We've not seen any DRS disabled yet, I don't think. So quite interesting to see that the DRS is still available. We'll see as we keep an eye on Benji, and we'll see that rear view. We'll see if that does open up, or we'll get that little notification in front on the dash to say that DRS is available. We'll see it just in a moment. Yeah, so it's still activated. So Benji and Faulkner making full use of that as Faulkner comes into the pits to get an intermediate tyres on. Alonso also coming in. Let's see, is Thomas going to be able to get the jump on their teammate? It seems to are, so the undercut has worked. The intermediates are the faster tyre right now. And the Little Jim has actually pulled that into 17.6 seconds here. For a green flag conditions, it is usually about a 22-second pit stop, so that's quite interesting. If it's safety car, a safety car does come out, then Night Flash can take the lead after coming out of the pit box, but it doesn't seem like that is going to be the case, as we've still got green flag conditions right now. Rizzle and Spike both coming into the pits. Night Flash continuing on the medium compound tyres for now, and it's definitely the slower tyres. You can see, you'll be able to see that gap in the top left hand side of his screen, just coming down more and more. We'll go on board with Idle North, who seems to be getting past, and there we go. We can see how much more superior the intermediate tyre is. Night Flash staying on them medium tyres, which are ancient at this stage now. They've been on for 21 laps, and it's definitely time for a pit stop. As we can see, even Mean Man Moody, who is a lap down, is appearing to be a bit quicker, although struggling, but still has more grip, it seems, and more confidence in the car than what Night Flash does. We're going to move down to, is that a bit I think that was just a typical graphical error there, but see Thomas struggling, and he's on the hard compound tyres. That's an interesting one. Never thought we would have seen the hards. I think that may have been an error in selecting tyres, unfortunately, for Thomas. He's got Fernando Alonso, his teammate, just right behind. And I don't think Thomas will be wanting to hold up his teammate anymore, considering his teammate is on the faster compound tyre right now. Oh, welcome along the chat, Laney. Oh, there we go. Thomas getting out of the way for his teammate after going a bit wide, getting some understeer through turn 11. I'm going to move up. See, Night Flashes finally came into the pits and came in off them mediums. Now on a fresh set of intermediates. So when is CJ Drama, Benji and Thomas going to opt to come in? That is an interesting question. And we'll see. So we'll see how quick Benji is compared to the Night Flashes. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. That's for McLaren. I think that was Spike. We're on lap 23 out of 36. A Little Jim has got the lead. Ido North proven to be quite patient, has had quite a quiet race, and has managed to get up there quite nicely through good strategy. Benji now on the back. Oh, the medium runner of of CJ Drama. Night Flash absolutely whizzes past the both of them around the outside of Young Kill. That was an incredible shot there. Incredible overtake. CJ Drama into the pits. Now finally realising that the intermediates are the quicker tyre. Let's see, hopefully Thomas and Benji can get the memo. But then again, is it just quicker to stay out on these tyres? We'll soon find out. As San and Alonso swap places. DRS is still not been disabled yet. That is the one thing I am really curious about, is DRS not being disabled yet, and I think that may be what is causing Thomas and Benji to opt to stay on them tyres. Rizzle has retired from the Grand Prix. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Not been the best of races for Rizzle, unfortunately. Quack fell right down. Had a good start to this Grand Prix, but opting to stay out a bit later. Not been their best strategies. Dan getting a 3-second time penalty. I've seen these 3-second time penalties start to ramp up. And we've got a safety car. Safety car. Mean Man Moody is out. Has crashed. It seems. Whereabouts is that? Is that coming out of the pit lane? Oh, it is. Maybe not coming out of the pit lane, but coming out of the curve with the Sol. So safety car has came out. This has kind of saved Benji and Thomas here. Tom's opting for the mediums. What? I'm so confused right now. That is okay. So you see the safety cars waiting down at the entry of turn, down at the bottom of the Raposta. So, oh, this is interesting. So Dan opting to go onto the medium tyres. Is it drying up now? Oh, CJ Drama drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Not listening to that delta, and maybe San putting a bit of pressure on at the back. Maybe that's what caused that, but unfortunate there for CJ Drama. He's just went and earned himself a drive-through penalty. All those watching right now, if you're enjoying the content, feel free to leave a like on the video. Lets me know that you're enjoying this content, and if you're not already subscribed, a subscription would really go a long way, and yeah, it really just helps out the channel. Night Flash, 10-second time penalty, speeding in the pit lane, not what you wanted. Not what you wanted indeed. indeed. These penalties are just starting to ramp up, and I think a few people are just trying to shave off whatever time they can on the entry to the pits, and it's not helping them. Night Flash, so opt in for the soft tyres. So I've noticed Benji opting to stay out on the hard compound tyres and take that track position. As you see, the rain has stopped, but he's got Night Flash right behind on the soft tyres. He's got Idle North in 5th place on the mediums. So depending on how things all go, as a Little Jim now opts to come in, is any other of the intermediate runners going to decide to do the same? CJ Drama is going to have to, same as San, yep, so they're all opted to come in. Spike also came in to the pits, and there's on 9-lap old mediums. Not the best tyres, but I suppose they will have to do. 1-lap old mediums for Dan and Quack, which Dan's now turned to 2 laps. So Benji on the hard compound tyres, old hards at the start of this restart of this Grand Prix. I like the ambition, but I have a feeling he's going to end up getting swallowed up by the pack being on them 10-lap old hard compound tyres. But we'll see how it is going to unfold. Plenty of chance for overtakes to happen, so there is always that. I think we're going to get going possibly at the end of this lap, or we're going to be doing one more lap under safety car. We'll find out as they come up to the DRS detection point, just to make sure. We've seen a driver actually going off the track there. That was actually CG Drama going off the track. But interesting there. Did miss that Spike, unfortunately. Is in 12th, not managing to get a chance to unlap themselves. Coming into the pits right now. Yep, so we've got one more lap of safety car, and then we will be able to get racing again. So this will be the final lap of racing behind the safety car. Lap 29, we will be getting going again. Benji on 11-lap old hard tyres, Night Flash, fresh softs, fresh mediums for the rest behind, up until San in 8th, and then it's mediums for Quack, Faulkner in 10th on the soft compound tyres, and then we've got CG Drama on mediums, hards for Spike. We'll look at the penalties though, and we'll see Benji clean. Same with Idle North and Little Jim, Fernando Alonso all clean. Spike and CG Drama both have drive-through penalties, so but unfortunate for them. 16 seconds worth of penalties for Faulkner. Quack San on both on 3 seconds, 6 seconds for Dan, 3 seconds for Thomas in 4th, and 10 seconds for Night Flash for speeding in the pit lane on his final switch to tyres. Now this safety car is going to pull away, and Benji is going to be the one calling the shots I think the best thing to do is wait as late as possible for going for that. Before planting it, that'd be his best strategy, so he doesn't allow the cars behind to get as much of a tow down into turn one, and that could sort of protect his lead a little. But here he is, he's gone just at the pit entry line, and Night Flash is on him. Little Jim and Fernando Alonso. Oh, Fernando Alonso looking like he was keeping his nose up the outside there, going into turn one, but Little Jim manages to keep just ahead. Looking on at Night Flash, how is he going to be able to deal with Benji, who's on them old hard compound tyres? Looks like he's managing to deal, as good as he would have thought. Dan and Quack both battling out here side by side, going through turn 5, and Quack managing to get it around the outside there, making sure it's signed, sealed and delivered. Nicely done, moving up into 8th position. Move up to the front of the pack, see how Night Flash is going to be doing here against Benji. Benji is going to have to pull off the ultimate defence to pull this off in order to win this battle here. He's got a load of cars right behind Thomas, looking like he's having to move on Idle North, just behind up the inside already. There's no DRS just yet, that's going to be coming into play after they cross the line. There we go, they've got the race control message saying the DRS has now been enabled, but Night Flash isn't waiting, and he's already up and past and up into the lead. Idle North holding on to that 3rd position, getting back up there as Thomas is now under threat from Little Jim as to come around the curve of this all onto the right riposta. Little Jim moving up into 4th place. Fernando Alonso also battling off with his teammate here, getting around the outside at turn 4. Nicely done. Is San going to be able to move around the outside of Thomas there? It looks like he is. It's going to turn into the inside for Ferragura, and San now moves up into 6th place, and Quack having a look up the inside of Thomas, and he does, and he gets past San, Quack there, gets past San also, so nicely, or Thomas moving. This is just confusing. That much changing there, and but Quack getting up into 6th place. Alonso there in 5th place. This is just turning into chaotic. Benji is managing to hold off on that 2nd place, but he's got Idle North in 3rd, right behind it, less than 3/10 behind now, closing with that DRS. And it looks like Idle North is going to make short work of Benji. But is Benji going to be later on the brakes? No, but he's going to get that DRS back again. The gap to the leader has come down a bit. Night Flash not pulling away as quick as he would have wanted. Alpine there having a little look, Little Jim having a look on Benji, knowing that he's on them old hard compound tyres. CG Drama putting in the fastest lap of 110.5. Going to move further down here, and we'll see San doing a 180 and pointing the wrong way. It's not the end of the race yet. You can't do your celebrations just yet, unfortunately. After losing quite a few places there, is the Ferrari moving down into 10th position. We've seen Faulkner managing to get an overtake done on the Aston Martin of Dan there. We're going to move up further to the front of the field. We'll see is Idle North going to be able to catch up to that Williams, who's sitting in 1st place, and it looks like he is taking that inside line after setting the fastest time of 110.106. Nice time indeed. Benji and still managing to fend off that 3rd position as Little Jim and Fernando Alonso battling out. Little Jim moving up into 4th position. We'll move further down the order here. Oh wait a second, Night Flash and Idle North swapping places there down the right posta and into turn 4 of Descida del Lago. Moving up to Little Jim, who's right on the tail of Benji. Benji being on the tyre deficit here, 15 lap old hard tyres. Could be going and start to die off real soon. He's done a real nice job of holding up the rest of the field and keeping within that DRS of Idle North and Night Flash just up ahead in the lead. See how long he is going to be able to keep that up though. going DRS. Yep, he's got it, and it looks like Idle North up ahead also got it on Night Flash, and is taking that inside line and moving up into the lead of this Grand Prix. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there from Benji on the apex of turn 1. Not the best thing to happen, especially when you're on them old hard compound tyres coming down the Retterposta into Descida do Lago. And Idle North loses that first place yet again as Night Flash moves up. Benji and the Alpine Little Jim are side by side going into Ferradura. He's going to have balls of steel here to hang it around the outside. Is he going to manage it? Keep it? No, but he has to slot into 4th place there. Now it's just about damage control right now for the Haas of Benji. Is he going to manage to keep that 4th position? It's going to be very tough to get up to the drivers in front who are on fresher tyres, to say the least. Looking on at Little Jim, our championship leader at this moment. You can see Idle North and Night Flash battling it out, and Night Flash moving down into 2nd place, which could be 3rd place. Going into turn 1, is the Alpine going to be able to hang it around the outside? Going into turn 3, he is, which turns into the inside at the Curva de Sol. DRS is wide open for both of them going down the Retterposta, and it looks like Night Flash has managed to be able to fend that one off and hold off onto that 2nd place. Still got a 10-second time penalty though, so Little Jim is just trying to get past Idle North really. But unfortunately, Night Flash is that spanner in the works right now. Looking up at Benji here, he's lost that position to Fernando Alonso. He's got his teammate of Faulkner there just behind. Quack and Thomas swapping places. Oh, and they've kind of merged together with the lag. That's not very good for either of them. Jeezy peeps, can't even get my words out. Thomas, though, does end up going on the grass and losing a bit of ground, getting a slip going on the entry of Young Cow. Idle North has got that lead still. Night Flash 2nd place, 3rd for Little Jim. Fernando Alonso is bearing down on the leaders though. He did start in 13th place, so he's done an excellent job up to now to get into that 4th position. Little Jim, Night Flash and Idle North are all that separate him from that top step of the podium, but he's only got one more lap after this to do it, as we are now already on lap 35 out of 36. Seems like just a few minutes ago I was starting this Grand Prix. Looking further down, Quag looked like he was ghosting there for a second. Either that or it was the sun. I'm unsure on that, so maybe had a little error there for Quag, but all seems good, so nothing to worry about. Idle North doing an excellent run here right now in that Aston Martin. Has been battling with Night Flash, but Night Flash having that 10-second penalty not going to help. Little Jim now just needing to try and push and get past Idle North and Night Flash battling out. Night Flash now takes the lead as this Grand Prix. Little Jim gets a slip at turn 1 and Fernando Alonso almost goes into the back of the Alpine. Now going down the Retterposta, this is going to be one of the final chances to get an overtake done as Fernando Alonso now moves up into 3rd place. He knows all he's got to do is get Idle North and he could get that victory. That is all that is there for him right now. Little Jim trying to take a stab at Fernando Alonso, and the two of them are battling out wildly there. And Little Jim getting up the inside of Ferradura, nicely done there. We'll see. Benji still sitting in that 5th place, quite content. Could actually get a 4th position here with Night Flash having that 10 seconds. So Night Flash, how far could they end up falling down? They could end up falling down all the way down to 9th position roughly. It's going to be depending on the penalties of the other drivers behind. But looking on at Little Jim, this is going to define the win here. Oh, and Alonso gets that 3-second time penalty. That's not good, as Night Flash comes across the line first, but goes and falls right down, and Idle North takes that victory. Little Jim in second place, Benji in third, Fernando Alonso unfortunately getting that 3-second time penalty. Look how close it was between Benji and Little Jim there at the end. Wow, that is insane. 13 thousandths of a second. Night Flash unfortunately falling down, and Thomas just getting that sixth place by half of a hundredth of a second. Insane there how close that was there at the end. Idle North just managing to clinch that win over Little Jim. Certainly was a good race, I will say that. Thomas saying no words about my race performance. Happy with P6. He's still done good. And for fudge's sake, Quack has left the game already, and that has just messed up the bloody order. And this is why I get bloody annoyed sometimes. Great, so I'm going to have to go back on the stream to find out where it was he properly finished, because it's not going to come up properly on the timing board, is it? Because usually it doesn't. Yep, so Quack actually finished in 5th position, but for some reason it shows him down in 11th, that he didn't finish the last lap. So, Idle North managing to get the win here and get that victory in the fastest lap of 110.106. Little Jim in second place. Benji managing to clinch that third. Nice strategy there at the end there, getting up there from 10th position. Fernando Alonso up 9 places from 13th. And then we had Quack in 5th position. Then we had Thomas in 6th, Night Flash in 7th, 8th for Dan, Faulkner in 9th, 10th for CJ Drama, and San was in 11th. Quack was not there. And then we see Spike, unfortunately, a lap down. Mean Man Moody and Rizzle were the only people who did not finish the Grand Prix. Yeah, so so Quack, you're in the chat right now. So it was 5th position. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. Finished just behind Fernando Alonso in the silver. Thomas forgot to underfuel, so was running a bit heavy, so that's a bit unfortunate there. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the calendar. So next Saturday I'll be live again for WWR, and that is going to be their final Grand Prix of the season, and that is going to be the round 16 Singapore Grand Prix. Now next week for here, what track are we at here? It is going to be the Netherlands. So we're going to be at Zandvoort next Sunday, so look forward to that. And of course, I'm not sure if I forgot to mention, it was double points here tonight, so great result there for Idle North getting that double points victory there. Thomason almost had 5 laps of extra fuel. Oh, that is quite a lot, to say the least. So a bit unfortunate there for Thomas there, but better luck next week out in Zandvoort. Until then, everyone, take care, and from me it is peace out.